Hey guys, welcome back. This makeup look is going to be a little different because yes, it's a neutral makeup look, but this is going to be a sweat proof, heat proof, humidity proof, foolproof foundation makeup routine. And if you want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. I've already primed my skin with the Hard Candy Hydrating Grip Primer. I'm just showing this one. This one's a mattifying one, which I actually don't like. It's very silicone-y feeling. But I got a hole in the back of mine from my tweezers being in my makeup bag, so I had to transfer my grip primer to this little jar here. But I've already applied that to the face. And then next we're going to go in with the Haley's Beauty Face Primer. Just like normal, put it in the T-zone. And that grip primer I don't always use, but when I want my makeup to stay in place and not move, that's the one to get. That's the one to use. And it feels like a little jelly sticky at first, but then it dries down super nice. It has a little stickiness to it, so it can really grab your foundation. And this is the same makeup that I wore in my vlog. That's the Haley's Beauty Matte Foundation, which is also very good because it stays where you put it. It's not one of those move around foundations. But this is the same makeup routine that I actually did when we went to North Carolina Chimney Rock mountains that day. And it was over 100 degrees that day. Had to wear a mask even outside. And by the end of the day, my makeup was a little greasy in the T-zone. But there was no melting. There was no breaking apart of my foundation. So that's the Shop Miss A sponge. Was $1.55, and it's better than the Beauty Blender. If you have not tried it, you should. It is worth every cent. It's worth even more. It's worth $20, just like a Beauty Blender. It doesn't soak up product like a Beauty Blender, and it's softer than the Beauty Blender. So if you have not tried Shop Miss A, you should. But we're just pouncing that foundation in. And I never have to go in with a second layer of any Haley's Beauty products. The illuminating foundation or this matte one. Because it gives me enough coverage. High, medium to almost full. And it stays in place. So it's super good foundation. It's just so good. But finishing putting that onto the skin. This Shop Miss A sponge and the other one from e.l.f. that came in the trio from the retro collection, or the one that came in the 3-pack, the little pink ones, those are all super soft and don't suck up too much product. And as you can see, I do not need to go in with a second layer because the first layer did its job. And I honestly have like 5 of these little Shop Miss A sponges. And going straight in with the concealer from Dose of Colors, as usual. My favorite concealer. And I just use concealer as my eye primer. I used to use the MAC Soft Ochre, whatever it is called. I don't remember, but I just don't even use that anymore. It's, now that I've used concealer on my lids, especially one that doesn't crease, it's a lot less heavy on my eye. So on a daily basis, I just swipe some concealer up there, and that's what I use to prime my eyelids. And of course, I do extra bouncing on my face just because that sponge is super soft. And I didn't put any concealer down the bridge of my nose because there's enough leftover product in that sponge to go down the nose or any other little areas you want to highlight on your face. You don't have to add any more product or cake anything up. So it looks pretty good to me. Covered my dark circles, which are not very bad, but they're still there. I'm making sure that's well blended out. And then we're going to go in with 2 setting powders, Haley's and the e.l.f. Halo Glow. I always have to mix the Haley's. I wish I could use it on its own, but it's a little too warm tone for me, for my skin tone, so I'm always having to mix it with a lighter shade. But both of these are blurring on the skin and filling the pores and makes your skin look airbrushed and flawless. So I just mixed the two. I love mixing products anyway. I mix both of the Haley's foundations that I have sometimes, so I'm a mixer. Just love to mix stuff anyway. But if I do wear the Haley's setting powder by itself, it does change my foundation a little bit yellow, so. But that's okay, because I'm still going to use it because it's just that good. And I set my whole face with these 2 powders. Just mixed it up. And putting that all over the face with a sponge, because when you use a sponge, it really does make your skin look airbrushed. But you'll see I do use a brush also with a different powder, a pressed powder. But for the initial set, I'm using the sponge in there, you see. Pretty dang flawless. I'm going to go in with the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula, which I haven't used in a while. And I forgot that this bronzer smells so good. Makes me want to go back to the Bahamas. It smells just like coconuts. My Milani bronzer smells like coconuts, but it's such a light coconut scent. This one is a little bit stronger, so I really enjoyed switching it up because it was very pleasant scent. It's a stronger coconut scent if you're into coconut, which I am. And we just put that in the hollows of the cheeks as usual, on my temples and then on my cheekbone and on the jawline also. A little bit more around the forehead. Wanted a more bronzier look today just because we're not doing too much on the eyes. Going with a little bit of the Maybelline highlight. That's in the shade 050. And that's the Milani highlighting brush. And just put that everywhere. I normally put cheekbones, temples, a little bit on the forehead, a little bit on the brow bone, a little bit down my nose, a little bit on the Cupid's bow. Just where I normally would apply highlighter. Although this isn't really about highlighter today. This is about making that makeup sweat proof. And which it really is. I've done this a few times now, and every time it's worked. Even wearing a mask at the store does not put lines in my makeup. So, going coconuts. And we're going to go in with the lightest shade. Just put that all over the lid real quick. That is the ColourPop eyeshadow palette. Fluffy brush, a little deeper color. Throw it in the crease. When you have a good primer, a good foundation, really you can use any foundation as long as it's not a lightweight foundation. Because I've used this same routine, but with my Urban Decay Stay Naked foundation, and that one didn't budge either. So, I'm pretty sure it's the 3 products. Matter of fact, I know it's the 3 products. It's that grip primer, a good setting powder, and a good setting spray. Lock that makeup on your face. And we're just going in with the other eye, doing the same thing, throwing that brown tone shade in the crease. swiper motions back and forth like windshield wipers. I always just like to give my eyes a little bit of dimension, even though I'm not full glamming it up. Still want to look alive and awake. Like I had a little bit of effort today. Looks pretty good to me. Now we're going to go in underneath with that same fluffy brush. It's not anything precise, just a little bit of definition down on the lash line. And then we're going to go in with the middle shade there with my finger, of course. I always like to use my finger for any shimmer, glitter, anything like that. It just applies best, in my opinion. If you prefer a brush or to spray some setting spray, some Max Fix Plus, some even water on a brush and put the shadow like that on there. Personal preference, but I do not use my finger. And as you see, it's very pigmented. Especially with shimmer shades like that. It's not so much the glitter, it's like a little shimmer. It just glides on with your finger. I think your finger warms up the product and it just kind of goes over the lid. Normally, I do not do liner on camera because it's so hard. But we're going to try it today, and I just took it up the bottom lash line and just went up from there. Wherever your bottom lash line naturally goes is where you want to make that line. So like I just showed, my lash line just naturally goes up right where I put that line. And then I'll go back and then draw the little triangle from the outside. I'm just connecting the end right there. And who doesn't make weird makeup faces because you're trying to get it right. So right here we're going to draw the little triangle on the outside. And I do have to pull my lid up just a little so I can see. I know you're not supposed to tug on your eye, but I'm really not tugging. It's just the liner. And then you can make it thin or as thick as you like. I don't like real thick liner. And this one here is the NYX matte liquid liner. It's my favorite one. It's got a brush, not a felt tip, which is a lot easier for me because it just glides over my eye. Some of those felt tip ones, they're kind of jagged, like they pull a little bit. So this one doesn't do that, it glides. And for me, I need that glide because I'm not the best wing liner person out there. So, and then you can make the tail long or as short as you want. I did the other eye off camera just to save some time. And went in with the Thrive Cosmetics mascara as usual. And the same with the bottom lash line, throwing that on there. Clean up behind the lid. I always have to do that. My lashes, no matter what I do, always touch back there. No matter what mascara, no matter how good the mascara or how cheap or expensive, I always have to clean up my eyelid. So we cleaned that up, and then we're going to go in with this middle shimmer shade here, and for the corner of the eye, we're going to highlight there. Compared to not highlighting the corner of my eye, it opens my eye and makes me look awake. Like, here I am. I haven't been sleeping. So, I do have to do that. And then here I'm going in with a second powder and just putting that all over the face with a big powder brush. This is the e.l.f. fluffy powder brush to really set down everything. And this also helps your makeup be sweat proof, humidity proof, all of that. That's why we went in and set everything down. It's like a double set. And this Catrice Prime Infine Multi-Talent Spray or the Smashbox Photo Finish Setting Spray are almost identical to me. I have used them both, but the Smashbox is just a teeny bit better and long-lasting than the Catrice spray. So we're going to drench the face with this setting spray because we are locking this foundation to our face. Letting that dry. Taking that same Shop Miss A sponge and just making sure everything's smooth, flawless, and airbrush looking. And there you have it. That is the sweat-proof foundation routine. Hey guys, just a little check-in. When I say this makeup is really sweat-proof, it really is. I have been wearing this makeup for about 8 hours now, and I've been running errands to the store, had a mask on. It says it's 102 or feels like 102 outside, super hot, and my face is not a grease ball. I don't have any marks from my mask, my bronzer, my highlight. Everything is still in place, so it's working. Hey guys, go down, hit that subscribe, hit that bell, and turn on your notifications so that you know every time that I upload a video.